Now with Enigma coming out, it's screaming to me an Enigma tiny lane. That is a very strong lane. Though to be honest, I think Bloodseeker and the CM deal with it quite well. So I'm liking what PuckChamp have so far. The only thing that they're missing is a Puck counter. And I think you have to counter him in the lane and you have to have a stun for him. So I think DK is gonna be first on the ban list here for HellRaisers. You just have to get rid of it, because if this Puck loses the lane and you know the side lanes are already looking pretty solid for PuckChamp, you're gonna be in trouble on the side of HellRaisers.
Enigma is a very intriguing pick as well, because there's already one way to break it, which is the Roar. CM Frostbite doesn't break the Black Hole, which is a positive sign for HellRaisers, because Enigma doesn't have to rush BKB this game. You can still play with the Blink Daggers and be fine, but Bloodright, long range cast with the Silence, and then the Roar from the Beastmaster, plus the damage output. Enigma's weakness is his armor and his HP pool. He's a bit of a squishy pause 3 in terms of how he starts off in the game and amplifies through items and levels. So Bloodseeker and Beastmaster don't really have a big of an issue with this Enigma pick out now, but the further this game goes and you have an Alchemist in your team, I like where HellRaisers is taking this.
To be honest, Bloodseeker shouldn't have much issues in this game overall. Once he gets the BKB, you don't have that massive physical damage on the side of HellRaisers that just crushes him. Heroes that the Seeker hates playing against is something like a C-Case, some illusion-based hero that is gonna crush you, the Terrorblade that if you get a stun, you just die. Inside of the Black Hole, if he actually uses the BKB in this game in particular, and the difference between him and the Alk isn't like super massive, he is gonna be okay, and that is what you want to see. And even if you die to the Black Hole, the PuckChamp's lineup, it just screams let's fight yet again. And HellRaisers, they kind of want to be sneaky with the Puck and so on. So I just think PuckChamp need a hero again, either crush the Puck in the lane or have really good catch. I think the DK and the Void Spirit are the ones that you're looking at if you're PuckChamp right now.
PuckChamp DK, yeah. There's 2 games for Malik on him. He hasn't won a single game on it, though. He's preferred the Dawnbreaker, which obviously was banned already in the first phase. We've got the Beastmasters. We've got ourselves the Enigmas. So if they went for something into the mid, what do you think about, say, Leshrek, for example?
Then it would really be all in. It would really be all in, because you wouldn't have a catch for the Puck. It would... I think if you go for something like that, you will be in trouble. Ember is okay, because out of the Spirit Brothers, he's the hardest to catch by the Puck, but he has really good catch himself. So what PuckChamp are trying to do here is, sure, you can allow the Puck to go and cut waves, but if he's doing that, the Alchemist won't be hitting creeps, the Tiny won't be getting his items, the Enigma won't be able to get into position. And the idea here for PuckChamp is to have better vision, control the enemy big jungle, and then run towards your big jungle to just get the Alchemist out of there. I think Ember is good for that, but yet again, this leaves a lot of space for the Puck, and you know, we've seen this hero just completely pop off. There are heroes, Chen, Crystal Maiden, they can just die to the combination of the Puck later on.
Yeah, PuckChamp would also love to start the series off with a victory too, because that would maybe put the pressure onto HellRaisers and not themselves. So if they're able to score out with this draft, the Ember Spirit, who needs just a bit of time, if we see a very active Ember dishing out damage constantly, that will enable the Beastmaster to move around, that will help the Bloodseeker to look for openings, and most importantly, Chen, who's a very mobile support, would love some help around the map. So PuckChamp's got a pretty interesting draft in terms of that, but HellRaisers, they're looking for the late game. They've got the Enigmas. They've got the Medusa coming in for Watson, one of Watson's fabled carry heroes as well. So this is a very interesting set. Yeah, good point. Malady with the Alchemist.
Ooh.
Alchemist Medusa.
Okay. Okay. This looks weird. I'm gonna say HellRaisers are looking hella greedy. They looked hella greedy with the Alchemist already. But you're always like, okay, this hero farms pretty fast, so even if the map is not that big, you can still be fine. I think the idea here for HellRaisers is you have the you have the acid spray, and the Medusa actually deals a lot of damage inside of that. So you can deal with the zoo by posturing aggressively with the Medusa, and PuckChamp are gonna feel afraid to just run into you. While you are defending towers like that, the mid lane tower in particular is gonna be the one that you want to defend. The Puck is just split pushing the map, forcing you to rotate, and then once PuckChamp dispersed, that is when HellRaisers strike. That is really cool. Sounds awesome in theory. Now in my head that I placed it that way, but if I would look at these two drafts and someone asked me which one do you prefer to play, I definitely go for PuckChamp. Yeah, I definitely go with PuckChamp. I just this HellRaisers draft, it's gonna be a bit boring until a bit later on once Puck and the Tiny start making plays.
I love the keyword boring, because I think that's exactly what the HellRaisers draft looks like. I mean, come on. What does Alchemist do? What does Enigma do? He black holes every 3 minutes. Medusa's basically just hitting creeps, and it's just down to Rabel and Gilgir to do all the stuff happening around the map. They're the ones who have to answer the aggression that's coming in from this mid-game heavy lineup from PuckChamp. So, I mean, I could just tell all the people watching at home, yeah, go get yourself a drink or something. Like, there's nothing to see right now. Unless you want to witness some kind of, potential torturous game, at least in terms of, how many deaths is the Alchemist going to suffer this game in the first 10 minutes, Harry? Let's throw in a little guessing game here. I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say 3 deaths for
for until when?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. I'm gonna go with 4. Okay.
So we're both actually putting quite a lot of numbers on the board instead of going for the safe 0 deaths. Like, he's just gonna dodge them the whole time. What can this Alchemist do? But I want to see PuckChamp aggressive. That's basically what I'm coming to here with this Alchemist dying a lot, or whoever on HellRaiser's side. Hopefully not the cores, because that's what they don't want to happen. I need PuckChamp aggression this game. They need to capitalize on what happens after the laning stage. Take the map control, push down the towers, and choke the HellRaisers side of the map away from this Medusa.
If it was another team other than HellRaisers in Division 2, I would have put in less deaths on the Alchemist. The reason for this is Malady, he knows what he needs to do. He's going to be running into the smokes, he's going to be running and breaking those, and he's going to be the first one to get attacked. Because the way that HellRaisers want to fight in this game is that they get the vision of PuckChamp, and the hero that you want to let die for that is going to be the Alchemist, who uses acid spray anyways, and that's going to be his contribution to the fights.
Well, let's see if we get a brawl here on the rune. Doesn't look like it. Just the ward placed down on the other side of the river, giving the vision on PuckChamp as HellRaisers. We're ready to go for it. But it does look like we're going to be getting a split and Alchemist. Starting off with the unstable concoction. Early small damage. Got the stun as well to prevent them from getting a couple last hits. Maybe something that the Alchemist can work with here in the early minutes, but it's still a very... He can cast this ability 4 times until he's doomed.
Gilgir starting top, and this is gonna be a first blood on the Kalis.
Oh, okay. The stun does connect. The AoE is gonna be there. He's got himself the Crystal Nova. Tiny can't get the toss. He's gonna have to toss the Alchemist in. And Ality, he can get some body blocks that could work, but hey, you said it. First blood, and that's a certainty. That's gonna be going for Gilgir.
Yeah, I can predict the future. A hero with 280 movement speed, meeting two basically really fat guys in the woods. I think that's it's not gonna be looking good for her.
They could have made a mistake. They could have failed the jukes and stuff like that. You know, anything is possible. Anything is definitely possible. One thing I want to point out from this bottom lane instantly here is the Chen versus the Enigma matchup. They're basically stealing each other's kids. Chen can just, can just use his persuasion to talk one of the Eidolons onto his side, and if it's one of those that hasn't multiplied, he can actually bring up 2 Eidolons on the side of the Chen.
Yeah, that's true. On the other hand, Enigma can kill the children of Chen. I think it's what Chen is doing is worse. You know, someone turning your children against you, that has to feel bad. I'm not saying the other one feels good, but you know, the this one just seems a little bit. It just seems a bit worse.
I've been out of Dota casting for I think 2 weeks. I've only been able to watch a couple games. I've been doing stuff outside, and as you can see, this is also the reason why we're missing on the CM kill. And she's going to be going for Malady, and I feel like he's the one picking up these kills instead of dying because Malady is doing a hell of a lot of work, and Watson with a right-click follows. Malady, one more punch to do it. And it's not enough. The HP regen is kicking in for the Beastmaster. He's down to 18, and he survives.
The thing about weird drafts is that people aren't actually gonna know what's gonna happen to them. They don't really know the strength of the Alchemist and the Medusa lane just because you've never played against it, or you haven't played it for a long time. But I'd go with they have never played against it, so you get surprised, like, why is he doing so much damage? Why is he so tanky? How can he just run at me? And it's just what's happening here in the top lane. Plus HellRaisers did a really good job with the Tiny, and also, I mean, this is the way you do it when you have a really strong early game lineup that gets together. The way that you counter those is that you need to do well in the lanes, and I think HellRaisers, they were kind of banging on that. The only problem is, of course, the mid lane. That is a pretty important one. You picked up your puck early on, and Young G is gonna be looking really good here against Rabel.
They're gonna be coming around onto the Chen, tossing Roger under the tower with the Malefice. That's going to be finishing off Roger. 3 kills for HellRaisers here in the early 3 minutes of this game. Coming out with shiny colors, Gilgear, who's been part of 2. Alchemist, who's been part of 2 kills as well. Maybe even 3 as he gets the stun onto the Beastmaster. But Watson lacking on damage, and that's going to be death number 1 on its way as Malik finishes off Malady.
I don't like this. If it goes with this trend, you're gonna be right and I'm gonna be wrong, because 3 minutes 30 seconds, he dies once. That's pretty much gonna be 3 kills at or 3 deaths at 10 minutes. So they need to speed it up when it comes to killing this Alchemist. But it is bound to happen. Once the CM gets level 2, this hero becomes really, really powerful in the lane. Both the Crystal Nova and the Frostbite are really powerful spells, and they will definitely be a problem for the Alchemist to run in now.
Love it how we were saying that this is a boring draft, but at least the early minutes are pretty entertaining on the side of HellRaisers, as Gilgear's doing a lot of heavy lifting here. They've done, again, what they were supposed to, finding the kill onto Roger. Eidolon's fighting against Eidolon, and I love how they're getting a different model as well. Look at them. They've got one of these floating eyes, and then you have a basic Eidolon coming out from the clone. Very interesting.
That's the one that he took over for Miero, and then he made one of his own. You know, that makes sense given that he doesn't have the.
But they have the same duration, so I need to see that happen again, because me as an Enigma player, I don't think I've ever seen that actually happen. Probably because I never get to play against Chen when I'm playing an Enigma. So that could just be one of those graphical galores once again. But hey, first 5 minutes in, CS department's looking pretty fairly even on every lane. Just the 4 kills on HellRaisers and the early advantage for Watson. He's definitely going to help out this Medusa a lot.
This is really big. We talked about the defense of the mid lane tower. Obviously, we're not up to that point in the game just yet, but Watson needs a good start so that he can help his team later on. And top lane, again, they'll go on the CM.
They will, and Ducalis used to be there. It was a pretty easy kill, maybe even Malik as well. Malady's got another stun lined up onto the Beastmaster, and that's going to be, yet again, another one. Malady, is that going to be the next death? Yes, that will. Yes. That's 2.
Okay.
But he was supposed to do that anyway. Like, he spent all of his resources, so I mean, fiction aside, that's the smart play to go for. Just get yourself out of the way, respawn by the time the enemies have also respawned. Get back in. Jump in back into the action.
We never really thought that Malady was gonna feed for no reason, you know. Even when he's dying, it's still gonna be quite nice.
More interesting, pretty interesting play here as well, as the Ember Spirit gets tossed in. As he's going to get coiled up, and Rabel's looking for the kill onto Young G, and that's going to be another one for the HellRaisers. Off to a rocky start here. 7 kills already.
Speaking about rocks, a big rock gets destroyed by small rocks.
Pebbles destroying the mountain. That's a good storyline.
Pretty much, if we, and it is a good moral. It has a good moral point as well. If you work together, you can overcome any obstacle, and that is exactly what happens there.
Beastmaster going for the basic builds here pretty much. Malik's got a lot of items he wants to build on this Beastmaster in this game, but it's just coming down to what is his item timing going to be with all that stuff that he needs to build and provide for his team. Because PuckChamp, it feels like they're on a timer, but at the same time, they're still capable of fighting at every phase of the game, just with various results.
Okay, Malik is in trouble again.
Nice black hole there from Miero, able to catch him in time, and that Seeker is going to be history, but the toss coming in, and the Aelon's dishing out the damage. Those are level 3s, which do actually, I think those were, yeah, those were level 3s. They were 38 damage a punch, so that's a lot to deal with against the Bloodseeker. Gilgear going to get stunned up here as well. Avalanche to keep the CM away, tossing that little mud golem away. Make a run for it.
This is really good for HellRaisers. You know, you are, with all of these kills, you're definitely putting a bit of a fear into the eyes of PuckChamp, because what PuckChamp wants to do is just run at you at like minute 10. Around minute 10, you're gonna start with the pressure on the top tier 1, and then you're gonna transition into just running into the enemy jungle, punishing anyone who shows. But when you lose the laning phase, it never feels good to do so. You're always gonna feel bad about going for a play. Plus, with all these lanes going so bad, it gives an opportunity to HellRaisers to even defend the top lane tower once, or maybe even twice. Once with the Puck TP, other time with the potential smoke. If that is something that happens, it's gonna delay the timings of PuckChamp, and this lineup is all about timing.
Look at the Bloodseeker. His positioning is key right now because the smoke is coming towards his general direction. Miero pushing out the lane. Takala's already spotted. Gilgear will find the CM, but they just don't get the vision on him on time, so they're going to have to throw everything to take down the CM. So it's a kill nevertheless. It's a lot of Adelons doing work on the tower. They're going to have to use the glyph pretty early on this one. Soak up the majority of the damage as they also run out.
So HellRaisers aren't really being pressured, but their moves are impeccable when you look at them. They go towards the bottom lane and they don't care. They're not looking to kill the Seeker. They're looking to get a kill and pressure the tower. While they're doing that, Malady TP stop to defend the tower, and the Medusa transitions to the mid lane to prevent any huge damage going to the tower. So they're preventing chip damage because they know how much it is actually gonna mean. If the mid lane tower falls early on in this game for HellRaisers, PuckChamp will be able to utilize their lineup well, even if the laning phase doesn't go well. But with these just beautiful movements, HellRaisers have overtaken everything, and they're looking like a much better team.
They look like a very well-oiled machine currently, at least coming into the early minutes here. And Melody's already starting work on his first Aghanims. Who's going to get this one, by the way? Would you give it to the Puck? Would you give it to the Medusa? Oh, death number 3 under 10 minutes.
Man, I can't believe I lost. You were on point. It's just you got to choose first. Either way, I'm not sure who gets the Aghanims. The Tiny isn't gonna get it for sure. The Ags on the Enigma is cool, but I'm not 100% certain about it. The Ags on the Puck can be quite strong, but it isn't something that you'd buy overall.
Look at the amount of power they're throwing onto this Bloodseeker. Toss to break the coil and just make his life a living hell as they take down Krillat. Young G finishes off Gilgear, and here comes Roger from the side. Looks for the stun of the center, but the Malefice popped just in time, but I think it was out of range for the stun anyway. Miero and his streak is given to the Ember Spirit, so Young G getting a lot out of this one.
Top lane, Malady is in trouble as well. PuckChamp, their lineup is finally starting to do work around the map.
Oh, I love how he stuns the CM instead of the Beastmaster, because he knows the Frostbite's the ones that's going to kill him. And Roger using his heal on the backlines. Rabel's diving tier 3 towers here, and he gets killed.
I'm liking the ideas. I'm liking the ideas from HellRaisers to just force the enemies to show on their side of the map, but the Puck should never die. In this game, the Puck should never die unless he's being roared. So that is a bit of a mistake coming out from Rabel. The thing is now what PuckChamp do with it. They need to be faster around the map. You can see they tried to kill the Alchemist, but they need more and more attempts, and I would like the CM to play with an Ember. These two would work really well together in this game.
Are you surprised at all that we don't get to see the Dominator on Malik at all? He's just going straight for the Wraith Pack.
He is. I guess he's afraid of the Enigma, but Krillat, he's just dead again.
Oh no. Yeah, that shouldn't happen. At least not 3 times. Pretty rough start to here for the Bloodseeker as well, because He's now down to 6th place in net worth as well, down to 4,200. He's supposed to be the one to carry this game, in a sense, or at least to some extent. They're fighting in bottom, looking for the return kill on the Enigma, but he throws in the black hole, cancels the freezing field, and they will look for one, maybe even two. Young G jumps into the arms of Watson, and that's going to be the Snake Lady taking this one, and that's 2 for HellRaisers, and the Enigma lives. Beautiful.
I want your carry. I want your carry to get the kill, not you. And he just runs into Watson. I think if it comes to the Axe, Melody gives it to Watson in this game in particular. This Medusa, you get a Manta Scotty, you get an Axe given from the Alchemist, and that's pretty much a timing that PuckChamp are not going to be able to deal with. We were talking about PuckChamp overtaking the game from minute 10 to minute 15 the most, and they tried to do it. But Bloodseeker dies in the bottom lane. You were rotating towards him. You don't have that extra damage to finish off the Enigma. You die, and now everything has gone south to you. I'm not really sure what the play is, but they cannot stop. Their lineup is built to fight right now, and if you get afraid of what's going on, you will just passively lose the game.
For one thing that I have to apologize to HellRaisers is I did not expect them to be this active early on, and we said boring, but this is far from it. These guys are making a hell of a lot of work for their current draft, and they've been doing an exceptionally good job here in the early post-laning stage part, especially. They've got over a kill per minute pace already on their side.
I'd say this is on the fun side of the games, maybe one of the most fun games we've casted so far overall in Division 2.
Division 2 is always something that you have to kind of prepare in a specific way, where like, okay, we can expect some crazy shenanigans, but we need to draw a line somewhere. Then you're looking at Division 1, yep, there's a lot of mistakes here and there, but it's much more perfected, there's a much more cleaner idea. You hear from the player interviews where they say like, yep, this was supposed to happen, or something unexpected happened because one player just had a pristine game, he got lucky with the action runes or whatever, and something like that happens, where they've got the RNG factors, but this is far from it. This is pure skill, and this is some really, really high tempo play from HellRaisers. Watson picks up yet again another kill into his name. He's 7,500 net worth up already on this Medusa as well. What's your late game looking like here for PuckChamp? Because like these first 14 minutes have been very hard.
I think it's not looking any brighter than things are looking right now, and things right now are looking very dark and very grim. So in my mind, it's only gonna get worse. They can feel it. You can see that PuckChamp are trying to be aggressive. They are not. They're not stopping. But the thing is that HellRaisers, the second that they see one hero on the map somewhere else, they're already making a play. And PuckChamp don't have the levels and the gold necessary to bring down some of these heroes, and that just makes it impossible for you to play Dota right now. You need to bring Krillat into the picture somehow.
Now Malady is closing up on that first Aghanims. He's only 500 gold short from having it. And we'll just have to play the drum roll once figure out who's the one to bring it up. Young G would love to get a kill for himself. Rabel would be a perfect target as well. The illusory orb's going to be flying right and forth, and they see the vision. They just need to catch the puck, but he's already up to something. He knows and he feels Rabel's going to get out. And here comes Miero. He's got the Wraith Pack, the Coil onto the Ember Spirit. Can he get the Black Hole? No, the Frostbite will keep the Enigma away, but the stun coming in from Malady from the side. The Freezing Field's coming in from the Ducalis as well, and the Roar to break the Black Hole. As the Ember's still on the high ground, the Enigma's already going down as Young G.
They finally found their fight.
Watch this coming from the side. Gilgir fall going in with the toss as well, and finally Malady will take down with the Concoction, as he's also going to give his life away. Ducalis, Young G, Malady all falling. Watson very low on HP. No Rupture though. And last time unable to get there, but Rabel is able to turn in the favor onto this Chen, and he dies to the Witchblade tick.
We're seeing the strength of the PuckChamp lineup here and what they're built to do. The problem is just the difference in farm. And if Watson had died in that fight, that would have been great. I like that PuckChamp did bring Krillat into the fray. It is obvious that they don't have the damage, that their heroes right now just aren't doing enough. Ember doesn't even have a Maelstrom, and he's probably your highest damage dealer. The CM just dies way too fast, you know, so you can't really expect the Freezing Field to destroy everyone, even though he did get a good cast off in that fight in particular. But overall, PuckChamp, they understand in what kind of position they are, and that is a first step towards coming back into this game.
I love how Malik is also reading the situation very well. Like, he sees that our cores are pushed into a position where the Enigma will definitely land a black hole, and he's already precasting his roar. So that black hole doesn't even last a half a second as it's already broken.
Okay, so Watson has the Ags.
Oh my god. Don't look at the graphs. Don't Google these graphs, man.
Change it to something else, Panda. I don't know, KDA. You know, when KDA looks better for you when you're losing 18-9, it really does make a statement.
That's a lot of red colors. Not even zebra colors where you have the green, red, green, red. But in this case, it's just a lot of red heroes leading up the charge. Malady in the front is going to get hit by a suiciding bird. He's already given the first Aghanims. And that's on Medusa. Medusa's got that fresh axe buff as well, and this is a big fight in the river. Rabel down, Gilger about to fall, Freezing Field doing so much work for Takalis here, and they're finally able to finish him off, but look at the amount of damage. Roshan wants a piece of this action. They've taken down 3, but now you need to deal with this Medusa. The stun onto Malady as he's unable to throw it onto anybody. That's going to be death number 4. Watson 1 versus 4 against the world, trying to take them all down with the heal coming up to Chen. Another stun is going to be there, and that's a team wipe as PuckChamp clears and cleans the room. They gonna hide those bodies and drown them in the river. That's a 5-to-1 trade. Beautiful fight for PuckChamp in the end.
Man, CM won them that fight. I think HellRaisers, they have to understand that this hero is very important. She has to die. She dies in an instant, and you didn't focus her down. He gets a really good freezing field off. You got the initiation on her, and she still does like more than 2k damage in that fight. That is a big problem. Because of it, HellRaisers, they lost the entirety of it, and obviously they didn't have the black hole, but at that point, you know, we were kind of closing our eyes, pretending that the net worth of the Medusa wasn't that strong. But the thing is, the other heroes don't do that much damage, and Rabel, well, I'm not even sure how he died.
Yeah, that was basically like, you're getting a fight into the choke point you were hoping for, and then without the vision, the CM's basically just hiding behind the trees over here in that little spot, channeling the freezing field. And I feel like HellRaiser's heroes were like, well, do we just throw our ultis and our spells down to the ground just so that we hopefully and maybe find the CM? But that freezing field does so much work for them. But Watson, despite 1 death, he's been given that fresh Aghanims buff. He's got the Mystic Snake now, which turns everybody to stone. Added with the minus armor from the Alchemist, he's going to be doing a lot of physical damage onto the side of PuckChamp. But the problem is, he just needs to get there. There's just so many abilities preventing this Medusa from attacking them.
I think if you're HellRaiser, you're still fine. The thing that you do now is pretty much what I thought they were gonna be doing for the entirety of the game. If it doesn't go as well as it did for them, it is Turtle, protect the Roche, and slow the game down until your Medusa actually does a lot of physical damage.
Looking to go in HellRaisers. Malady's going to get stunned here. Miero does get the Malefice with the blink stun. Now looking to
CM again in good position.
And look at Ducalis. Look at the positioning of this CM. They finally found her, though, and able to break the freezing field. The roar onto the Medusa. Here comes Kurlan with the Bloodseeker. Hacking down, but the black hole's going to be there, and you've got no roar. You've got no cancel. The Bloodseeker in big trouble. Surrounded by everyone from HellRaisers this time. It's not Watson alone. This time he's got buddies all around. And that concoction follows this Ember Spirit all the way to the end. And there's the coil coming in from Rabel. He held on to it this entire team fight. There's a bird landing onto Malady, and even pushing this Ember Spirit away is the Wild Wing Ripper, but not able to get Youngji. But the heal from Chen, and Malik still keeping the distance, forcing HellRaisers not to finish off the Ember Spirit. And HellRaisers, they're on the retreat after that. Long chase, but just can't get the Ember done, but still a really good fight for them. It's a 2-for-2 trade in the end.
Now we're going to be seeing PuckChamp going forward. PuckChamp, smoke, kill, into Roche. This is what you need to be doing right now. There is no black hole. There is no stone gaze. For 40 seconds, if you manage to get a kill right now, it's going to be awesome for you, because that Roche is pretty much what you're looking at. With the Roche, the Seeker, he dies once during the black hole, and then he's going to have free reign of the fights. If the Collis continues positioning this well in fights and doing solid amounts of AoE damage, it's just going to allow the Seeker to do so much.
See if this Roshan control can stay on the side of PuckChamp, because HellRaisers, there's no black hole. Coil's coming back off cooldown. Go for the attempt here. Crazy FPS drop here as the CM has that aura pop. A lot of animals here to be buffed up as well with that extra mana regen. They're clearing out them one by one. Raid packed as well inside the Roche pit. Watson getting double bashed, but they're going to be smoking up on the high ground, looking for their opening. Channel
Watson has the stone gaze.
Still gone for 60 seconds. Malady in the trees, waiting with the stun. The arrow, no black hole, but blink stun's available. Vrabel jumping on the back line. Watson forcing out the Roshan, and it's going to be taken for HellRaisers. He's got the agent for himself. Malady with a stun onto Ducalis, and Ducalis getting nothing done this fight. CM's already gone. Bloodseeker's about to fall as well, and HellRaisers, they're cleaning house. Cannot quite find one target, but they still found the Ember Spirit. He's got no remnants for 3 seconds, and he's gonna make it out. Dodges the avalanche, duking to the trees. There we go. The jump's available, but no, still fighting against Malady all the way to the end. Not able to take down this Alk. Alk trying to TP home, and he lives 70 HP.
Okay, even if he died there, he would have been at home, so it wouldn't feel so bad. But I like the idea from PuckChamp, but they got a little bit greedy, thinking they can kill the Roche. So they went into the pit, thinking that their smoke is gonna get broken and the enemies are hard to catch. So let's walk into the pit while they have no spells and force them to fight us, because we know that right now we're stronger. But the Roche gets too low. Watson walks into the pit, uses the stone gaze, he gets the Aegis, and that is where the fight ends.
Tossed into a kill, but also cost Skilger's life. Glyph popped as well for the extra damage. 1 for 1. Forces HellRaisers to go up. They do have the black hole up now. At least in those regards. What is Alchemist building next, by the way?
Another Aghanims. Does he,
he
wants
just
to give
lined it
another
up.
one.
Okay, so he's going for the... Oh, okay, so he's going for another one. He did buy the shard, or then he took it from the Roche pit as Watson cleared out the... No, wait. We'll take that back. He bought the shard in between, and now he's building into the axe. So I was just wondering, like, why is he... Feels like he's missing something from his inventory, but hey, it's all good. It's all good.
I like the drums a lot. I even expected him maybe to go for the Boots of the Bearing, but he kind of wants to use the drum charges first and then replenish them, even though, you know, Boots of the Bearing kind of replenishes it on its own. And HellRaisers right now, I think they've gotten to a point where they probably can't lose this game any longer. The Medusa is starting to punch quite a lot. They have actually pinpointed their problem in the CM, and they're just dealing with the Callis quite nicely right now. There's not going to be any more big freezing fields in this game, I think.
That is a problem-solved situation. CM dead, no problemo. No issues for them. PuckChamp had a 6% win probability some time ago, went up to 24, but it's now down to 4%, so it's not really looking too glorious on their side. But HellRaisers, very entertaining game from them overall. I give it to them. They've definitely made this game very fun.
When you would, I like to see when you know, there is a big difference between professional and Dota. I mean, competitive Dota and pubs. But I really like to see when teams completely change it up. If you would see these kind of heroes in a really high MMR pub, it would be played completely different. So I'm loving when I see a really big difference, even though sometimes it just isn't that way. But when it's unconventional, you can assume the teams have something up their sleeve. And HellRaisers, they really did surprise me. This is just beautiful gameplay coming out from them.
See what they can get done here. They found Ducalis once again as they're approaching the high ground. CM is dead. Watson's inside the base. Nothing stopping this Medusa now, especially the holder of the Aegis. For another 1.5 minutes, freely getting to siege this tier 3 tower. Glyph is being used. Watson will back out for the time being. There's also a DD rune freshly spawned on the top half of the map, which they could grab for themselves and return back into this base. But for now, they're going to stick where they want to. And that's on the high ground of PuckChamp.
Imagine you're Perseus, you kind of polish your shield, you do everything that they told you, you cut off the head of the Medusa, and then she comes back to life. Like, what the hell is this bullshit? So I think that's what PuckChamp are dealing with right now. They have to do everything perfect to even attempt to kill him once. and then he would just come back to life. So they're aware of it. They're just not gonna fight this Medusa. They'll wait for the Aegis and then go for one last fight, because that is pretty much what they have left in them for this game.
Alk is now halfway towards the Aghanims as well. That's going to be the second one for the team. Do we give any love for the Enigma Aghanims? You know, the black hole that's an extra 20% max HP per second in total.
I think you give the Ags to the Puck for a chance that he pushes out the enemies out of the out of the Enigma black hole, so that the PuckChamp do have a chance.
Eventually, Watson getting chained up here. He's got that DD rune and Bloodseeker in trouble.
4 seconds for Aegis.
Spot he wants to be in either. BKB is ready, but they're not ready for this fight at all. Ducalis throws down the freezing field, but the CM is down. That's a 1.5 minute cooldown also, so even if the CM respawns, there's no ulti for the base defense. Malady's found, well, not even Malady, Gilgir has found Malik. That's now 2 heroes down. HellRaisers can freely into the base, and if the last push was bad, this is even worse with the DD rune on the Medusa and a fresh butterfly. This Medusa hits for almost 600 damage already. What can you do?
I don't know if you can just hope that Watson walks into your fountain, because right now I don't see a chance for them to kill him, at least not without the massive casualties. You can see HellRaisers behind him. I don't know if you've spotted, but Beastmaster with the Hawk killed the courier, and I guess that's the story of the game right now. You can only pretty much kill couriers, and PuckChamp will go for one last wraparound. It is a good attempt, but will most likely end up in a disaster for them. Let's watch it.
They're coming up the wraparound from the side, at least trying to get something done here, but Crystal Maiden's the one in the middle of the team fight. And it's not even a team fight, it's just a dead CM.
He has a buyback. He forced out
a buyback,
the Stone Gaze.
Yeah, you could actually get your ulti off in time at least, but there's still the roar of the black hole, but Chen's down. That's going to be casualty number 2. Chen doesn't even land on the ground as he respawns back in the fountain as the time is already dead, but BKBs are going to be popped and they're going to go for the charge.
No man on Medusa.
But the black hole is able to get them. He's got both of them inside him and they can't get that Beastmaster close enough to cancel the black hole, and GG is called. They've had enough of this game. HellRaisers made it look way too easy. Beautiful early game from them. Fantastic setup coming out from that laning stage, and the rest was history.
I for one didn't have enough of this quote unquote, I'm gonna quote myself, boring game, Harry Freak 2022, yeah, you know, so or boring draft from HellRaisers. I'm impressed by what they did. I still think that PuckChamp shouldn't have allowed the laning phase to go the way they did. They should have known that the way that you lose the early mid game is by losing the laning stage heavily, and that is pretty much what happened. You know, sure, the overall net worth difference wasn't big, but the difference between cores was big, and that is the case. You can't kill the Puck just because your lineup doesn't kill him. You can't kill the Medusa, she's too fat, and the Enigma is in a position that is protected by wards, so nothing is left for you to attack. And you know, if the Medusa just poshes herself at a tower, you are unable to do anything. I think PuckChamp, if you're going for a lineup that crushes everyone at the early mid game, you have to be sure that you do not drop the ball in the laning stage, which is pretty much what they did in this game.
Pretty much, yeah. That was a very difficult situation PuckChamp was put into this game. They had a couple good team fights in general, but by the time those fights already started, they were supposed to be ahead of HellRaisers. So I guess this was a show and display of skill, most importantly skill from HellRaisers. They were the more ready team. You're picking Alchemist third into the draft, putting him down to a support. He starts to make things happen in the lane. Medusa Alchemist lane. Medusa Alchemist lane. Let me just put it that way once again. I mean, obviously the Beastmaster is a bit iffy until he hits level 3, level 4. Didn't go for the Dominator because there was no room for it. He wanted to go for the Halberd's a really good item pickup here. But before we go to that part, this was a lane that was supposed to be difficult for HellRaisers, but PuckChamp weren't able to capitalize at any moment during that laning stage. So well done by HellRaisers. Just hands down, far from a boring game. That was one of the most entertaining games I've seen HellRaisers play, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, you're mentioning the outplays and how well they used all of their spells, but it's not only that, their movements and their understanding of what they need to do. Kill the enemies, kill whichever hero on the map just to stop that potential aggression that might come from PuckChamp. I was amazed, Rabel, you know, usually you see Pucks, they see a CM, they're like, nah, I'm not gonna use the coil here. There's a CM, bam, coil, kill him, just delay the timing, 20 seconds more for us, and it's 20 seconds more where PuckChamp are gonna be kind of lost, meaning that they're less, or they're more likely to make a mistake. HellRaisers, I mean, I'm just thoroughly impressed, and PuckChamp, you know, they were a Division 1 team, but I don't think they can really put up a fight against HellRaisers if this is what they're bringing to the table.
Well, that's game 1 in the books. I hope you guys enjoyed this game as well, because we certainly did. We'll be back with game number 2 in the draft between PuckChamp and HellRaisers. Must-win game for PuckChamp if they still want a chance to go back to Division 1. HellRaisers with a victory is definitely in for the race for at least 2 teams, maybe even that third team being Cybercats, but that's in for later. We need to play a second game before that.